what's up? Welcome in to Foxboro Rush. George Belecci here with Travis Thomas.
Come on.
Got a live Foxboro Rush for you guys today on this Memorial Day. Shout out to all those who give the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Gives us the ability to hang out on days like this.
Yeah.
Talk football, enjoy the sport, and everything like that. So, T, I'm excited for this one we got today. We're going to be talking a little bit of running back picture with the Patriots.
Good.
We know how Rhamondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson can be on the field. How do they fit in together? We'll talk wide receiver room as well. Got plenty of sound from Mike Vrabel, how he sees his wide receiving room so far. We'll talk a little flag football as well. And shout out to the squirrel, Julian Edelman, too, as his birthday is here. We'll talk some best stuff from him.
I was drinking at a Mighty Squirrel yesterday. True story.
Big Waltham guy you
Yes.
are.
Well, there's a new one in Watertown.
That's
Where
right.
I was at the new
That's
locale.
right. What's the scouting report on it?
Okay, so I've been to the one in Waltham a ton of times.
That one's great.
That's like a home game for
Watch
me.
people go rock climbing.
Yeah, so even though this one is closer in proximity to me, it felt like a road game. I didn't have it wasn't as comfortable as Waltham where I can kick my feet up.
I feel that.
So I'm still getting used to it. But I'm going to make it a home game.
That's
you
what
better
it is.
believe.
Oh, yeah, it's all about that. It's practice and it's reps, right?
Whoop, there it is.
One mighty squirrel at a time.
That's right.
By the way, for you, I'm still in my dynasty draft. I'm up in, if the two guys before me to use a full clock in 7.5 hours, but don't worry.
Who'd you take with your pick?
No, I haven't picked yet since we did
still
chat
haven't
this morning.
picked?
There's 4 hours in between picks. Guys take full advantage. I got 30 rounds, brother. We got like a month of this ahead.
You know,
You want me to tell you who I'm eyeing?
I wasn't going to do this on TV, but I feel like here at Foxboro Rush, we want you to know that we love you. And this is an intervention. And the fact that you are in a keeper league where it takes
Dynasty.
this many hours to draft in between picks, this is a cry for help, people. This is a cry for help.
I'm building the best team out there. You know what's tough, though? The quarterbacks. It's slim pickings. I got J.J. McCarthy and Mahomes. I'm in a good spot. I think I'm going to go Jackson Dart with the next pick, though. I got to make an investment for the youth. And if he pans out...
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't know if J.J. McCarthy pans out. I don't know. I'm risking it. I'm risking it right now. And then our guy, Jaden Higgins, was drafted, though. Well ahead of his slot.
Is Drake May taken?
Oh, yeah. He went to pick after I took Mahomes. Smart pick by that guy, EM24. He's a Christopher Moltisanti
from
icon.
Sopranos?
So he knows culture. Unfortunately, I think he's from Connecticut, so, you know, that's a little sus, but he knows culture.
What a keeper league. What a keeper league this is.
I'm going to win the whole thing. All right, let's get into the running backs. TreVeyon Henderson was drafted as well.
Yes, he was?
Oh, yeah, it's a smart pick.
Jeez.
Keeper league, you got your running back next 5 years.
Yeah, I would take him. I think he's going to be the starter for the Patriots.
All right, so let's get into that. Why do you see TreVeyon Henderson? Why would you want him to be the starter? In a world where we understand running back by committee.
Yes.
You want him to be the guy, though.
Well, I understand running back by committee. I understand running back by committee with Rhamondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson. However, this is less about TreVeyon Henderson and more about Rhamondre Stevenson in my book. It's been 2 years since this guy has rushed for 1,000 yards. And I know, I already hear it. Oh, but Trav, he's dealt with this injury and that injury and this and that. He's in and out of the lineup. I get it, but that's part of the issue here, folks. You do understand, like, the most productive running backs in this league, George, stay healthy. They stay available. They're on the field. So how many years did we watch the Carolina Panthers and now subsequently the 49ers when Christian McCaffrey is banged up and dealing with issues? I'm not putting Stevenson or Henderson in this, sort of rarefied air as a Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
but
I get what you're saying.
When he's out of the lineup, it's a problem. You can't run the ball. Your offense sputters a bit. And this is a San Francisco team now that's an all-star team on offense. And without Christian McCaffrey, you still feel that. Same thing with Saquon Barkley going back to the Giants, and he was healthy with the Eagles, and we see what that meant. So I look at this as, yeah, sure. If you want to run the ball by committee, I get it. But Rhamondre Stevenson does not look like an every down back that you can count on, whether it's health or not. That is part of it. He has not rushed for 1,000 yards in 2 years. That's concerning to me. TreVeyon Henderson is a guy who comes from running back by committee, even on the college level. And we've talked about that.
Yeah.
However, if he comes in with all the tools that he has and can translate to being the man, being the every down back, I think he's going to take Rhamondre's job. And I'm fine with that, too. As long as you have a comparable run game, something to help the development of your young quarterback in Drake May, it's a win for the Patriots. Whether it's TreVeyon Henderson, the man, which I think could happen, or it's by committee. Just give Drake May a competent run game, and you should be fine.
I'm just still under you give him a good run game that is utilizing and understanding the workload over Rhamondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson and not overworking either one of them.
So you're saying running the ball by committee helps Drake May?
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Because that helps Rhamondre Stevenson. We saw him come into the league splitting carries with Damian Harris as a rookie that started in the doghouse and wasn't active even on game day the first 4 weeks of the season, but worked his way out of there. But we've seen him, and that was last time we saw him in a Josh McDaniels offense, where I think he takes on that Damian Harris role, 215 carries. I think he's around a 1,200-yard rushing back as well and can do plenty of catches. But then TreVeyon Henderson comes in a Jahmyr Gibbs-esque role, where he's going to be the spell back, he's going to be the third down back, the home run hitting back, and in certain personnel when you're matching up in certain scenarios. And there are times where it could be Rhamondre starts a series. Maybe they punt, ends in a touchdown, whatever.
Sure.
Next time out there, it could be TreVeyon Henderson gets a bulk of the carries on the following drive to keep Rhamondre fresh. Exactly. And adds a different dynamic. End of the day, I saw TreVeyon Henderson when he was most effective with the Ohio State Buckeyes.
It was committee.
It was with Quinshawn Junkins, exactly, in committee, and that was in a level where it's high-level football, obviously winning a national championship.
Sure, of course.
But that is where guys aren't hitting as hard or playing as fast as they do in the NFL. I think that's what we end up seeing. That's what makes sense to me because, again, it's about the offense. And TreVeyon Henderson is a guy they really like. That's a guy they were eyeing. Probably did not expect him to fall to them at 38 either. They probably thought he'd go before Judkins, but the Browns take him. They saw that running backs coming down, and they went and got TreVeyon Henderson, which was the right pick. Because Josh McDaniels loves that style of back.
Yeah.
He loves running the ball. And running a football is a quarterback's best friend. This is the modern-day NFL now. It swung all the way back to you have to be able to run the ball, and that sets up the passing game.
I'm so glad you said modern-day NFL. I'm going to make a note to come back to that because I have something I want to say about Rhamondre Stevenson. But as it pertains to TreVeyon Henderson in this sort of example that you're using, at Ohio State, yes, it was running back by committee, and he was the home run guy, though, George.
Yeah.
I think that's something to think about here. Whereas coming back to modern-day NFL, Rhamondre Stevenson, I mean, look, rookie year, I'm going to get you up past your rookie, okay? 12 games played, 606 yards, all right. I mean, year two is when he popped. He runs for over 1,000 yards. He played 17 games that season. You with me?
Yeah.
The next 2 years, 12 games, 15 games, he hasn't sniffed 1,000. I just don't think, look, I don't care. Y'all going to send me hate mail anyway. I don't think he's that damn good. I don't think that you can definitively come in to this season and say, well, Rhamondre's our guy. We'll see what we got in the rook. No. It should, option A, it should be committee. Option B, can TreVeyon Henderson take the leap and become the man? As far as I'm concerned, 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons in here with Rhamondre, how long are we going to wait in the modern day NFL? Listen, all these games, you know what the old timers do that played this position? They say, well, if I had all these games to play, I would have rushed for 2,000 every year, right? It's not, I'm not taking anything away from any of these people. However, to rush for 1,000 yards now in the modern day NFL, come on, what are we talking about? It's not as difficult as it used to be in a passing league, and you have more games. I don't believe that Rhamondre is dynamic enough to anoint him as the guy, and then we'll see where the rook fits in. No, this should be a committee. And then if TreVeyon Henderson is good enough, I do believe he can elevate and be the starting running back who gets the bulk of the carries. He just has to show he can be that on the NFL level. No small task.
Yeah.
Don't don't twist what I'm saying here. But if he shows you that first month in the season, it doesn't take long. This isn't the development of a wide receiver or a quarterback. It's a running back.
Yeah.
We'll know in camp, really. We'll know in camp. Oh, you see that? You see a couple big runs from this? Once we get in the season, a couple games in, if this kid is balling, hey, Rhamondre, you're the backup, bro. It's the NFL. Those are the breaks. Sorry, that's how it goes. Rhamondre Stevenson has not rushed for more than 7 touchdowns in his career in one single season.
That's also...
This is a modern NFL we're talking about, George.
In 2022, when he was dealing with that Matt Patricia offense, and they gave him 280 touches. He was the leading rusher and receiver.
210 carries.
Year after that, the offense is broke.
Yep.
Mac Jones doesn't know football anymore.
Yep.
Bailey Zappi is playing games as well. Neither of them can function. So you have no comparable, you have no functioning offense in front of you. It's easy to stop the rush that way.
That's right.
And then the following year after that, year 4 from him, that's with the worst offensive line in the NFL. Revamped offensive line, revamped play calling, an actual quarterback under center now that will make his sophomore jump.
Yeah.
Again, that's where I understand where the confidence comes from of Rhamondre Stevenson. And in the pureness of it all, and you look at it from a contractual standpoint, he has 2 real years left on his contract. His age 27, 28 season, they're going to use him. They're not going to waste that.
Yeah, sure.
And I think of when they look at what his usage is, a guy that Josh McDaniels is familiar with, under McDaniels, again, that's a dude that was averaging almost 5 yards per carry, 4.6 yards in an attempt. That's what you want. That's good. It was fine averaging a little over 8 yards per catch as well. That's where McDaniels will see those flashes, and I just think that's where it goes into. You play well, TreVeyon Henderson plays well, that whole offense.
I get what you're saying, and I think that's the idea.
There's context to his struggles.
Yes.
The fumbles last season weren't okay, but also the fumbles were happening behind the worst offensive line.
That's right.
When you're getting hit after the ball's right in your gut, you're going to fumble.
And by the way, again, I'm going to stick with this modern-day NFL theme here. This guy gives you bupkis as far as catching the ball out of the backfield.
He's fine. He's fine. He's not fine.
TreVeyon
And that's where TreVeyon Henderson
average
comes
at best.
And that's where
that's my point.
That's fine. Average is fine.
That's what I'm saying. Here's another thing. I got some numbers I want to crunch with you. Here's where Josh McDaniels can help the run game totality. Let's get over Rhamondre for a second. Lamar Jackson, 915 yards. In a not electrifying rushing year for his standards. We've seen him run for over 1,000, okay? 915 yards, 4 tutties. Jaden Daniels, almost 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 14 touchdowns. That stupid tush push and others, he's getting in the end zone. He rushed for almost 700 yards. Little Kyler with those little legs, 600 yards, 5 tutties. Josh Allen, same numbers, 12 touchdowns rushing. Caleb Williams rushed for 500 yards, and he's not half the athlete that Drake May is. I am telling you, Josh McDaniels this is something I was screaming for Alex Van Pelt to do, if you remember, and he didn't. We did not get any design runs for Drake May. When Drake May would take off, it was because he was running for his life, or no one was open because his receiver stunk, and he was trying to make plays, right? I am hoping Josh McDaniels, give me some creativity, please. Let's get Drake May on the move. I'm not saying I need to see Lamar Jackson numbers or Jalen Hurts touchdown numbers from him. But if Drake May, the athlete, can be allowed and leaned into to run more in the offense, that helps your running back by committee. All these teams I went through, Ravens, Commanders, Eagles, all these teams, Bills, they're all top of the heap in rushing the football as teams.
Yeah.
So if you tell me it's going to be a true running back by committee or running game by committee, get your damn athletic quarterback involved in the run game.
Yeah.
I think that can help too.
That's Drake May that ran for over 400 yards his rookie season.
He's a great athlete.
No, he's really good.
He's a great athlete.
I think it's being smart. Sprint outs, RPOs, actual read options as well, just running a simple option.
Creative.
Bootlegs as well.
That's right.
Be creative to allow him to avoid contact, but also run the ball.
Bingo.
Hey, enough from us on this. Here's Mike Vrabel talking about Rhamondre Stevenson when he's back with the team, which he did eventually join them, what he will be to this offense.
We're extremely excited to have him with us. Have been in constant communication with him, and obviously our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family as they heal and they grieve, and want to be a part of that to help him and get to know him. And had met him early on, and then he went back, and now those conversations have just been over the telephone. So when you start to evaluate just this season and you watch the effort and that he played with when he didn't have the football, he played extremely fast without the football. His ability to step up and protect is taking care of a teammate, is protecting the guy with the ball. He did that on numerous occasions. You always saw him downfield when he didn't have the ball. So he's going to be a large part of what we do, and it'll just have to determine where he's at when he's back here.
It's going to be a large part of what we do when he's back here. That's a guy that he knows what he's doing when he talks to the media, and I think he understands what the role is of Rhamondre Stevenson. And it's the same thing. You don't take someone 38th overall with all the holes on this offense, What was Will Campbell? He's going to be immediate starter at left tackle. For as long as we can see, he could hold it down there. TreVeyon Henderson's going to step in as a starter. Kyle Williams is going to step in as a starter. Braden Swinson, Joshua Farmer, those guys are going to be contributors, not starting, but playing in key situations for the pass rush. That's the same thing, but that doesn't take away what Rhamondre Stevenson brings. That's where I'm interested. Josh McDaniels loves to run the ball. He's going to run the ball a ton because you get another running back in. Like the days of the bell cow back, they don't exist.
Unless you have a special guy.
And it's for a good reason.
Unless you have a special guy.
And unless you have an offensive line that allows Saquon Barkley to do what he does, where he really does not get touched.
Right.
You want to limit hits and limit contact. Because even think about how good the Lions' offensive line was. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. At their best, both contributing. Jahmyr Gibbs, a better running back in that situation, more explosive. That's TreVeyon Henderson in this situation.
He's their home run hitter.
But one can't exist without the other.
Sure.
They keep each other fresh. They keep them on their A game.
Yeah, I get it. Again, I don't want to make this whole thing like I'm banging on Rhamondre Stevenson. I like him. I don't love him. And I look at TreVeyon Henderson as someone who either is going to come in, which is what George is saying, and enhance the running game and take some pressure off of Rhamondre Stevenson, if nothing else, which I get. Again, logically, I follow you. I think I'm just more open than you are to if Rhamondre is outplayed, I will move off of him in 5 seconds. And it doesn't have to be running back by committee per se. We don't need everyone involved in every touch of every game. I do like that Rhamondre can pass pro. He had some fumbling issues last season, but for the most part, I don't look at him as a fumble-aya kind of guy like I do Antonio Gibson, which is another topic for another day. So I don't have a problem with implementing him. I think the anointing is where I have an issue. This is Rhamondre's show. We'll see where TreVeyon fits in, and then maybe it's committee. No, I think you come in. This is all of us. This is all hands on deck. If someone takes that opportunity and runs with it and rises to the top, then it's yours. That's where I'm at mentally. It's not so much Rhamondre can't get it done. I've just seen the movie for 4 years now. I don't want to keep watching this movie. I know the ending, and you gave me a better ending 2 years ago. You haven't given me 1,000 yards in 2 years. Come on, bro.
Again, that's a movie where you don't have any lead actor. The supporting actor needs a good lead, right? And he's a supporting actor as a running back. You need the good lead. You need that offensive line. You need that quarterback.
Agreed.
Didn't have any.
He didn't have any of it.
That's basically you're asking the guy that is in a movie, let's say with Leonardo DiCaprio, you're asking the B actor to carry the film when that should be on Leo. They have a lot of heavy lifting to do.
That's fair.
That's where, again, I see how he falls in all of this, of the patience needs to still be there. And it's a running back. I have been big. Same way and you wanted Ashton Ginty, and I said, I understand if you trade back. The only way, if you draft Ashton Ginty, I would have loved it because that meant the Patriots had an amazing offseason where they would have signed a Ronnie Stanley, right? Where they would have signed another offensive lineman. They would have it figured out. And they would have traded back. Well, they would have just traded back and it would have made sense to get Ginty. But of course, he ends up going to the Raiders. That's one of those things. You can't put the cart before the horse. Especially when it comes to running back play.
Yeah, I would agree. But also, with that same breath, I would caution you that some of these rookies that we never see coming, all of a sudden they show up and it's like boom, boom, boom. Oh, no, he's the captain now. That's what I'm saying. TreVeyon Henderson has those kind of tools. We just haven't seen him in that role in college, so it's hard for us to kind of piece that together. But if he comes in here in camp, brother,
look,
we'll know in training camp. I'm telling you.
If he's the guy on money downs on the field, I'm fine with that. He's a more dynamic back, more versatile in his alignment. He allows the playbook to have more flexibility.
That's right.
I'm just big on the touches matter, limiting them, but also knowing how to spread the love.
I'll tell you this. Rhamondre, big body bends, 6 foot, 227. We like the way he runs. He does run violent. He does run tough between the tackles. If we get in the red zone, oh, my God. It's a Josh McDaniels dream. You have Rhamondre, you have TreVeyon, the rookie who's hungry.
They could both be lining up.
You have Drake May. Please, Josh, I hope you watch Foxboro Rush. Let's get creative in the red zone with all these
option.
runners. Yes.
All three in the backfield.
I'm fine with it.
Fake it up the gut. Run an option to the side.
What's the problem?
Out. Then TreVeyon Henderson throws it back.
No problem.
To Kyle Williams.
Maybe it's Drake May.
Honestly, they could have their own Philly. They got the athletes for it now.
A little trickeration.
A little pass catching there. We're going to talk to wide receivers coming up after the break on Foxboro Rush. How does a room break down? Who is a wide receiver one? How do we see it fitting all together? And what does Mike Vrabel think? That's all coming up after this break on Foxboro Rush. What's up? Welcome back to Foxboro Rush. George Bilecki, Travis Thomas. Travis, let's talk pass catcher. So the Patriots currently have 12 wide receivers on their roster as of working out. We know it's Stefon Diggs, Pop Douglas, Mack Hollins, Kendrick Bourne, Kyle Williams, then there's Kayshon Boutte, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, and then the UDFAs, John Giles, Efton Chisholm, Demir Blankumsey, Jeremiah Webb. So
respectfully, who?
Yes. Efton Chisholm's making a lot of noise.
He's making a lot of noise.
We'll see. We'll see. He could end up being a practice squad guy and maybe blossom into someone or be someone as a returner.
Right.
But here's Mike Vrabel. I want to start with this. Here's him on having a full wide receiving room and how he sees the work breaking down.
When you say things like it's a full room, I would say that 31 other teams, that's okay, but 31 other teams are going to have 11 or 12 wide receivers at this point in time. So everybody's room is full. There's 11 or 12. I would say that the players that aren't available need to make sure that they're doing everything they can to stay up mentally and continue to work hard to get back. The young players that are coming onto this roster have to earn a role, and the ones that are returning have a clean slate to go and compete, and whether that's a carryover position from last year or a new position. So we're very early on in the process, but we need that compete and have a willingness to go out there and help the quarterback through this spring process. Thank you.
I love he adds a context. Everyone has a full wide receiver room. Everyone's got 12 receivers. What are you shaking your head at?
Can you read the good folks at home? Usually I cuss in my notes, as you know, but this one I made clean. Can you just read what I wrote top right? Say it loud.
Who here can play?
You named all these names. We got a full room. Who can play?
5.
Give me the names.
Stefon Diggs, Pop Douglas, Mack Hollins, Kendrick Bourne, Kyle Williams. You're
being real kind.
They can play.
You're being real kind.
They can play.
Look, I'm going to give you Stefon Diggs because of the name.
And he knows how to get open.
He's coming off injury.
He's less of relying on one foot in the ground to get open.
Coming off injury
against his own.
He's coming off injury. He's a little bit older.
Pop Douglas,
I like.
crafty in
Undersized.
space.
Undersized, you could already argue, has overachieved. Mm-hmm. Mack Hollins, I'm not even.
He's a wide receiver 4. Don't overthink it.
He's a body.
Don't overthink it. He's a big red zone target.
Kendrick Bourne can't stay healthy. All I keep hearing his whole career is, man, just wait till he puts it together, except that he hasn't.
Wide receiver 3.
Kyle Williams.
Rookie. I like him, though.
Who here
Those 5 guys?
can play? I picked apart all 5.
Yeah.
You can find something with all 5. I don't know, George.
This is, again,
I don't know.
But this is the long-term rebuild. And it's really hard to get wide receivers on the open market. It's impossible.
It is.
You either trade for them, and the guys have been traded for, like a George Pickens. Like the fact that he went for what he went for in DK Metcalf. DK needed to get paid.
And he didn't want to come here.
That's why he went for a third.
He did not want to come here. We got to throw that in.
Yeah, I think if he got paid, he would have wanted to. But yeah, right? But a guy like George Pickens that ends up with Dallas, the fact that Mike Tomlin was willing to trade away a George Pickens says everything you need to know about a George Pickens.
Good point.
Those are the guys that are available. But like everyone here is waiting with a bated breath for T. Higgins to get to free agency. It was never going to happen. He was always going to be a franchise tag guy and then going to be extended.
Then they settled for Chris Godwin. We talked ourselves into Chris Godwin, who never left either.
And he wanted to stay with Tampa. Exactly. And even though he was offered more money, supposedly, to end up here. How it comes to building wide receiver rooms, you have to draft. It's how the best ones were. And if you're not going to draft, you got to trade like a first-round pick. Eagles drafted Devontae Smith, traded a first for A.J. Brown. The Minnesota Vikings drafted Justin Jefferson, Jalen Nailor, and Jordan Addison. The same thing with the Cincinnati Bengals. Drafted Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yosivach. And even when they had their guy as well, their slides, escaping my name, ended up at Tennessee, same thing. The best teams draft their wide receiver rooms. It's how it goes. It's how it's been. The best wide receivers in the NFL. Or when the Dolphins got Tyreek Hill at the peak of his powers, swung, it was like a quarterback-esque trade. We see that less and less. It's going to take multiple years of drafting receivers and developing, maybe swinging a trade in there, but for them to get an elite number 1, that's going to have to be through draft and develop. Kyle Williams is that first step. He'll be a really good wide receiver 2 one day. They don't have that one yet, but this is a wide receiving room that is just, it's long-term. Kyle Williams is that key pillar piece that you anchor it around. They see what else they could get from there. Maybe Pop Douglas makes it to a second contract, but long-term, Stefon Diggs, Mack Hollins, Kendrick Bourne, they're not going to be there at all. It's about Kyle Williams. That's a first foundational piece. And how do you do it moving forward?
Well, you have to get something out of Polk.
Yes.
You have to get something out of Baker. I realize they're not rookies anymore, but quite literally, you got nothing from them.
Oh, they were terrible.
You got nothing from them their rookie year. So in a way, it's like, okay, well, are you going to give me something now? Obviously, you know, you have Williams, who is a rookie who comes in with the hype. Polk nor Baker came in with the same hype as this kid. But at the same time, not only do you need something from Kyle Williams, but you got to get something from these other youngsters too. Polk and Baker have to give you something. I mean, my God, we're not asking you to be Jerry Rice here, but can you give us something? Because neither one of us gave us anything last season. Neither one.
Hey, here was Demario Douglas on what the rookie wide receivers bring to the wide receiving room.
I feel like they brought they brought everything to the room, you know, straight competition in our room, and I love it, man. In every position, we got competition. So them two, well, we got the four rookies that came in, man, they're pushing us to get better. So as we got, you know, people coming in that come work hard, it's going to push everybody else to work harder.
You see that? Did everybody see what I saw? Can we run the sound one more time? The question was, what did the rookies bring to the wide receiver room? Pop Douglas actually played, right?
Yes.
He actually showed up and made plays. Remember I wrote on here, who here can play?
Pop Douglas can.
Okay. Watch his hezzy. Greg, we don't have to play it all the way through. I only need the first 5 seconds. Watch how he hesitated before he answered the question. This is how you know he was lying. Play it.
I feel like they brought they brought everything to the room, you know, straight competition in our.
He went to say great, and then his Rolodex of his mind went through and was like,
They didn't give us a damn
anything
thing.
great.
They didn't give us anything great.
they bring everything. When you bring everything, but you need to be elite in one thing, that means you're not elite in
Bro,
anything.
I promise you, I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on Foxboro Rush.
Yeah.
If we are in the court of football law,
I
would
ask
say,
you again,
I'm not.
what do they bring? And don't say everything. Objection. I'll allow it. I'm watching a lot of Karen Reed
I
trials.
mean,
trust me.
bro, was that not the answer?
Yes.
Thank you. Who
Here's-
here can play? No further questions, Your Honor.
Now here's Pop Douglas on what the wide receiving room will look to prove.
Okay.
I feel like if you're trying to prove something, it's like I feel like you're gonna get caught up with trying to prove something. So I feel like, man, just compete. You know, as we compete, we're gonna do better. And I feel like, just get open. I mean, you get open, the ball gonna come your way. You know, even if it don't come your way, I mean, it's gonna show up on film that you're getting open, and you know other people can see, and on film it's gonna show.
Get open. I mean, that's the key to the NFL.
Facts.
My favorite Michael Irvin story was one he was telling. He was working out on a jugs machine. I forget what wide receiver he was working with. And he said he never used the jugs machine when he was in the NFL. He said, I knew I was going to catch a ball. Only thing I practiced was getting open. Michael Irvin, one of the best to ever play the
One of
position.
the best ever.
So, but like that's the key. But to more important on what Pop points out is the competition. He keeps pointing to that.
Yeah.
When you have 12 guys in the room, but more importantly, that there are 5 guys who say they can make it. Keyshawn Boutte, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, they're on the bubble. And they're probably told that too. They have to earn,
It should be.
let alone a practice squad spot, let alone a game day active roster spot.
Sure.
And they know it. And I would put a Kendrick Bourne on the bubble as well. Year 5 in the NFL,
Yes.
5th year with the team. I understand he played for Josh McDaniels and he knows him. But this is a new head coaching and front office regime. And as we've seen from Mike Vrabel, Ryan Cowden, and Elliott Wolf, they work together. Mike Vrabel shows no F's given connection for guys that were here before him. If they're not good for the team, he's not going to keep them around.
that should be how it goes.
Yes.
Look, I will say this too. When you're not really good in a particular position on the football field in totality, meaning the wide receiver room as a whole is not very good. We talked about this a little bit with the running backs too. Health is even more valuable. Look, if you cannot, this is my thing with Kendrick Bourne. Like, if you can't stay on the field, bro, I cannot count on you. With this wide receiver room not being very good, health matters. I think it's one of the reasons why Pop Douglas has had success, because he is smaller. He did go to Liberty, shout outs to Virginia. But, like, he's productive because he's healthy. The best, what is it? Ability is availability.
Yeah.
So if these guys want to turn their careers around, 1 year in, I'm talking like they're veterans, but literally you gave us nothing in your rookie year. If you want to turn things around, you have to be available. And that's a big part of it too. That's why Stefon Diggs is so important. Coming off of this injury, okay, but can you stay healthy? Can you not only can you recover from what you went through, but once you do that, and we see that explosiveness, we'll give them some games here. But once you do that, can you stay on the field, bro? That's a big part of this. I think that's more questions for this wide receiver room too.
I think that
Can't afford the injuries, George.
No, they cannot. I mean, and that's where this roster. I mean, imagine an injury at left tackle.
Oh,
Imagine an injury at right tackle.
devastating.
Right, at either tackle spot. An injury at the cornerback position.
Devastating.
This is too deep with two elite corners,
Yes.
right? At the safety position even. Like Marcus Epps is going to be the free safety coming off an injury, but they need him to stay healthy. That's where this is a team, again, when we keep going, like, hey, the floor is 8 wins. The ceiling is 11. They can make the playoffs. The schedule is easy.
Yeah.
There is a part, but when you're in a rebuild, you got to be relatively healthy. But at key positions, if someone does go down, if a Kyle Williams, God forbid, something happens to him, same thing with the Stefon Diggs, the whole dynamic of this offense changes. But the same thing of, I think, we can see at the trade deadline, again, they're developing these guys. If a Kendrick Bourne is needed by a team that need a veteran pass catcher, someone that's
And he's healthy?
Yes.
Roll out.
Because that's a guy that, how many years does he have left to be effective for the Patriots and be a contributor?
That's right.
That's something to go with. Now, who will be the guy that will stay? Here's Pop Douglas talking about Stefon Diggs and working with him so far.
Oh yeah, he gonna bring that dog. You know, he probably the one who brings out that attitude in the room. You know, you got a lot of quiet right now in the room, but I feel like he gonna bring that dog out in the room.
Shout out, Stefon Diggs, former 5th-round pick.
Yep.
That's Pop Douglas, a 6th-round pick out of Maryland talking. Like, this is a wide receiving room that if we look at the top guys, it's Diggs, who was a 5th-round pick, Pop Douglas, 6th, Mack Hollins, I don't know where he's drafted, Kyle Williams, who's a 3rd-round pick. Like, certainly have stuff to prove.
Yeah.
Like, there's no blue chippers at all.
Chips on the shoulder if there's any chips.
Exactly. And, like, that's what the layout of this team is. But especially with the guys like the Jalen Polks who just, like, you know, quotes, I got the best hands in the NFL. Well, you didn't.
Right.
And Javon Baker making people in wheelchairs stand up. You didn't because you didn't get on the field. That stuff won't fly around to Stefon Diggs. He's that guy in the room that if they say stuff like that, he's going to be like, the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
That's right.
You guys are not on my level, and I was a 5th-round pick.
That's
like,
right.
get to my point and then start talking, because as much of a headache as he's perceived with some teams, Stefon Diggs has earned that. He's earned that attention. He's earned the right to get that PO'd on sidelines. This is a guy that's important because how hard he works, especially coming back from an injury at his age, instrumental in setting up the rest of these guys for success.
Earning it is a key word that you said there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Stefon Diggs is the story you just told about Michael Irvin being like, hey, I don't need the jugs machine. I know I'm going to catch the ball. I need to get open.
Yes.
That's a Stefon Diggs mentality too, right? That's where Pop Douglas is talking about that dog, so to speak. But you talk about earned it. You're absolutely right. When he was at Maryland, George, I covered that team. Stefon Diggs was a very good player, but Stefon Diggs was not some like standout where you go, oh, that guy in the NFL is going to be a stud. He was a really good wide receiver. They struggled at quarterback, but it was like, yeah, I could see him in the NFL. I don't know, maybe not in terms of making it, so to speak. And he's an absolute rock star. So he is a guy, I'm so glad you brought that point up of he knows how to get in, put in the work, keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, develop, and then become a baller and let the personality shine. So I hope, if nothing else, even if Stefon Diggs can't regain old form and doesn't return to being some elite wide receiver, please, man, give the game. Help these young guys out in terms of development. That could be beneficial and valuable in and of itself if he can bring that to you.
I think that's a guy that, I think that's what his role is. It's pouring into a wide receiving room, and it's helping Drake May move the chains.
They still need the production, George.
And I think
they paid him like the production's going to be there.
Yeah, I like the contract details, but I get it. No, you're 100% right. They have to pay the tax that they stink.
Yes.
They can't get any free agents there.
That's right.
They're not winning.
That's right.
Now all of a sudden they get to the postseason. They show Drake May's really good. He breaks out on year 2. The playbook is there, everything. Then all of a sudden you're paying the price you paid for Stefon Diggs. Then you would get say, Chris Godwin, who's healthy. I'm not talking guy coming off a broken ankle. But that's the type of free agents you can start getting.
Yes.
And again, it's building out this room. It's using free agency to fill holes. They got to hit on draft picks. And when you figure out your offensive line, then you can start using first rounders on pass catchers instead of using it on linemen. That's the important part.
Amen.
Don't forget, Mike Vrabel was pissed off when A.J. Brown was traded away to the Eagles.
Yeah, he was.
He was really upset by that.
Yeah, he was.
A.J. Brown's a guy they used a high draft pick
That's
on.
right.
So that's what.
And that was about money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, talking pass catchers, we're going to talk some flag football coming up on the break. Foxboro Rush, the NFL owners approved it. NFL players can play in it. We'll be talking some NFL flag football at the Olympics in LA 2028 coming up after the break right here on Foxboro Rush. What's up? Welcome back into Foxboro Rush. So cool news that broke last week was the NFL owners approved for NFL players to play in flag football at the 2028 Olympic Games. You're not excited for it?
Go on. No, I'm not.
Why?
Because just be a grown-up. Like, in theory, stay with me, folks.
Suck,
in theory.
You stink.
In theory.
Yeah.
We should be head and shoulders above the rest of the world.
Yeah.
This is our sport.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Then be a grown-up. Send the amateurs. Now, there are pro flag football players. Mm-hmm. So send them.
Yeah.
And then if you lose, then you send the big dogs. I mean, that's what we do as a country. It's not until we lose. We're
then
like,
we
well,
care.
wait just a damn minute. Like, well, now we're sending the Monstars. Like, I feel bad for these dweebs that play flag football professionally. And they work so hard. Yeah. And now Tyreek Hill's getting a chance to go. Like, let these guys go. Like, the whole thing fundamentally, that's my soapbox. Why are we sending, really, we're going to send Patrick Mahomes to the flag football Olympics? Come on, guys. We're America. We can beat the hell out of these people with the professional flag team.
Yeah.
Send them.
Totally. I want the NFL players.
I know you do.
I
you
want
love
to see
this
them
stuff.
absolutely go ham on some plumber from Slovenia.
They're going to.
Lined up opposite of
They're
them.
going to.
What's interesting is that only one player per NFL team is allowed to play on each country. So say if Saquon Barkley plays for USA.
Right.
Jordan Mailata is Australian, I believe.
Yes.
He can play for Team Australia.
It's still not enough, though.
What?
One pro player for the other countries ain't beating
who's
all
going to
pro
do that?
players.
Who's going to do that?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be the guys vying for Team USA.
Right.
I just picture Kyler Murray, who is made for flag football, let's face it, with the receiving group like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Tyreek Hill. Brock Bowers at tight end, or Kyle Pitts.
A plumber from Slovenia.
Yeah, lined up opposite of them. Probably some carpenter from like the Netherlands, from like the Dutch. Like, it's going to be so ugly.
You should be sending the professional flag. You know what? In all seriousness.
USA versus the professionals?
No, we should try and, there's got to be a disgruntled pro flag player out there. We should try and get him an interview.
Oh, all right, good idea.
I would love that.
I'll find out who are the best.
There's got to be a disgruntled. Bro, I've seen on my timeline, even over this weekend, one of the disgruntled, like, I think it was a wide receiver maybe. I didn't care enough to read or listen to what he had to say, but he was basically like, this is messed up. I've been a pro for however long, 2-3 years. I deserve the right. I want somebody disgruntled in the pro flag football world, not NFL world, to come on Foxboro Rush and just rip apart this whole thing. Basically, just agree with me. That's what I'm looking for.
Deion Page. He's a wide receiver.
There you go.
I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him.
Let's hope he's disgruntled. Shoot him a message.
Look, man, I was putting together my, is that him?
Or maybe he's cool. Or some of these guys like, hey, I get it. Send Justin Jefferson. I'm just a dude.
Yes, I found Deion Page's Instagram.
Like, I wonder that. I am truly fascinated by this. Are you disgruntled? Do you feel like you deserve to be there and not Justin Jefferson? Mm-hmm. Like, I want to ask these people these questions. Even if, what's his name, Deion Page?
Yeah.
If we got him, and he goes, no, I'm happy for the other, for Justin Jefferson and those guys.
There's no way.
I wouldn't send me either. That's fascinating to me. I think you're right. I think it's more disgruntled.
Okay, all right.
I would think.
I'm just excited. Well, you're going to end up watching this, though.
Of course I'm going to watch it.
You got 3 years to wait. Let's say that to start.
We are going to embarrass these other countries.
I wonder how much will we watch, though?
What do you mean?
It's going to be over by like midway through the first period.
Oh, you mean literally, like the whole game?
Like when it starts, it's like, ooh.
No, I watch the beginning, and then once it's comfortable, I'm out.
Final score is going to end up being like 87-32, and I'm being very generous with the 32.
Okay, then let's have this combo. Maybe we stumbled upon the right way to do it, which we did not do. Do you invite the NFL stars, right? They start the game, blow the hell out of these teams, and then you bring in the pros. So in other words, pros and Joes, baby. You get the NFL ballers. You're starting the game. You're going to beat the hell out of Slovenia. And then we'll go to Dallas Diamond Page or whatever his name was, coming off the bench, who's the pro, and then they can play. That would have been the right way to do this. Because then your pro flag football players, they're on the trip. They're getting the experience.
Yeah.
They're at the opening ceremonies. Like, look at me, because no one else would. And then you get some garbage cleanup time. I think we solved this.
I would like to see countries pull a USA, what the U.S. did for Joel Embiid. Basically, hey, you're a citizen. Like Embiid played for Cameroon that wanted to get gold.
Yes.
I'd love to see like a France step up with that type of offer to like Josh Allen. Like if Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson get the nod, or like maybe James Cook ends up with Team USA, Josh Allen's like, I want to play.
Right.
I would love to see France go, hey,
like we'll let you.
They
come
start
off.
courting. Like here's some citizenship.
Yeah, I can
and
see
here's
that.
a week on the water in no, not Monaco, Cannes.
Well,
Cannes,
but still, like the NFL players want to win, and just like in the NBA, you
so
saw.
Josh starts recruiting.
Well, you saw him. No, you saw the opposite. Embiid's like, the hell with this. I'm going back to Team USA.
Yeah, because he's soft.
That's right. Well, yes.
Josh Allen wouldn't do that.
Josh Allen, though, may be like, you know what? This isn't very fun. I'm not recruiting. I'm going back to where I belong. Josh Allen's a bad idea or a bad example because bro is like Captain America, basically.
He would be perfect for U.S.
Quarterback. Yeah. Anyone would, bro. That's a point. These are NFL players.
Do you think anyone from...
It's unfair.
Now, this is 2028. This is 3 years from now.
Yes.
Drake May's going to be in the mix.
I hope not.
Christian
Take his name
Gonzalez
off the
would be
list.
in the mix.
Take their names off the list.
You don't want them to risk it for the injury.
Hell no.
Yeah.
If I'm the Patriots, hey, look, who do I got to call? Who? Okay, take all Patriots names off the list. Thanks.
You have 2 phones?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's a different...
True hustler.
You've
You heard Kevin Gates. You heard Kevin Gates. I'm a true hustler. Never thought you'd get a Kevin Gates reference on Foxboro Rush, did you?
I do agree with, like, now what was important when they agreed upon this, the field surface that they're playing on has to be approved and has to be safe for players. Can't be random turf because they don't want the knee injuries, the ankle injuries that come.
Is there such a thing as a surface where people don't get hurt? That's not a real thing.
Grass is better than turf. What I do respect is, I believe it was A.J. Brown that said it, where he's not going to compete because he said, like, I basically know if I'm doing that, I'm going to get ripped for not being at training camp. And he's like, I'm keeping the main thing the main thing.
So
that's
maybe
where I'm
there's a lot of
intrigued on what
guys.
players do what.
There might be a lot of
So
guys.
there's the excitement of wanting to do it, but then it would get to the point where I think we could see a lot of practice squad guys go. We can see a lot of backups go, and they could still wipe the floor with the nation.
Yeah, then send the flag football dudes. That's what I'm saying. It almost like, it kind of like drives my point home.
Yeah.
If you're going to invite the stars of
and
the
they're
NFL,
not going to go,
and they're not going to go,
then why are you doing it?
Send, what's his name, bro? Dallas Page.
Deion Page.
Deion Page.
Run it up on Instagram.
Man, we got, you know what? I'm reaching out. Deion Page. Deion Page, if you watch Foxboro Rush, we need you, dog.
I'll figure this out. I like that idea of getting someone.
I'm going to reach out.
The AAFL.
We should. Send them. What's the point of getting all these stars if they're like, well, it's training camp. I don't want to risk injury. They're not going to go. And then what are you going to do? George just told you, you're going to get backups. You're going to get, guys who are trying to, like, fringe dudes, like practice squad dudes. We don't know them anyways. So just send the pro flag football players, and then loudmouths like me, who are totally disrespecting these guys, can put some respect on their name. And I can watch them go against that plumber in Slovenia, and I can say, oh, light bulb, this is why they play pro flag football, because they're really good. We're not even going to get that opportunity. Deion Page should be a star after the 28 Olympics. Instead, we'll get a disgruntled interview here on Foxboro Rush. I can't wait for it, but it'd be better for him if he was a star in the 28 Olympics.
The American Flag Football League, you guys got to have a better website. How do you not have stats?
See, come on, guys.
If they don't have the legit
they don't
rosters.
Even have stats?
No. I'm appalled by this. So
AFL, maybe you fumbled this. It's the AFL, right?
Yeah, AFFL. AFFL. That's what
2
it is.
F's.
2 F's.
AFFL.
AFFL.
You fumbled this. This is your fault. Better product, better infrastructure with how you run your league.
I wanted to talk like flag football rosters with you, and you
You
just
can't. can't. But you can't because they don't have their Shaq together.
I mean, I got like Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley in the backfield. I had this stuff mapped out.
Oh, you mean that? No,
Micah
I'm talking
Parsons,
real.
I know.
I'm talking AFL. Y'all, you fumbled this. You messed this up. This should have been a great launching pad for your players to become superstars. Instead, you messed it all up.
You done messed it up, AFL.
AFL.
We'll take one more break on Foxboro Rush when we're back. We'll be talking some Julian Edelman right after the break. What's up? Welcome back to Foxboro Rush. George Bilecki, Travis Thomas. Of course, tweeted out by the Patriots in their Hall of Fame. Happy birthday to the newest inductee, Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
Turned
Jules.
39 years old.
Awesome.
Still young, still spry,
Yep.
still doing it.
Yep.
I want to talk Julian Edelman, favorite moments.
Oh, my God.
What do you think of his iconic performances? My first one goes to the Super Bowl MVP that he earned.
Yeah.
10 catches, 141 yards,
Yep.
and a touchdown.
Yep.
I also think the fingertip catch against the Falcons as well, saving that game for them. What's one of your favorite moments or performances?
You know, you bring up the fingertip catch. What's funny about that, just hearing you talk out loud about it, I belonged here in this market because I wasn't here yet when that happened. And I remember getting into full-blown arguments with cats who would always say that David Tyree helmet catch was better, like the best catch ever in Super Bowl history. And then I would go, no, it's not. And they'd be like, well, who is? I'd be like, yo, the Edelman catch against the Falcons.
Yes.
They're like, oh, no, Tyree's better. I would get in arguments about this.
Absurd
So I
catch.
belonged here in New England because that's the one that jumps out to me. You're right with the Super Bowl MVP, but I also even think about a lot of those big games where Edelman, they would draw the trick plays.
Yeah.
And he would throw.
Yep.
I mean, how many big games, playoff games, don't even get me started. The one against the Ravens comes to mind. I think it was to Amendola. But even just big regular season games, that was like something they could always go to their bag. Let's get Jules on the move and throw it. And it was fair game to anybody at that point because he could chuck it. Great athlete. We know the background and all that. So Julian Edelman, those moments stand out to me. The Super Bowl catch, the MVP, and certainly those big games where he would throw, most notably the Ravens off the top of my head, which was a playoff game.
The one I remember, too, Super Bowl against the Seahawks, Patriots down 10, 3rd and 14. Brady is scrambling from the pocket, hits Edelman, and Cam Chancellor puts his forehead right into his temple and his jawline. I don't know how he stayed up. I don't know how he held on to the ball.
I don't either.
He got yards after the catch, and he just went down because he did not know what planet he was on.
Yeah,
and he later had a big-time catch, too, and you could still tell he had no idea where he was.
It's one of the reasons why I think and also, I'm not being, like, mean here. I think that's one of the big reasons why he retired, too. I think, like, he was like, look, I played really hard.
His body got beat up.
His body got beat up.
His knee was gone.
His head. I mean, he took headshots. I also think, too, if we're being honest, I mean, Julian Edelman is the American story in a lot of ways of just like, he was beyond an afterthought. I mean, what's worse than an afterthought? He was forget about it, not even thought of, worked his way up, changed positions.
Was a returner to start the year. To start his career, actually.
Earned it.
Yeah.
And got it out the mud.
It took him 3 years before he broke through on year 4. And that was a guy that still, even though he stunk, would be working out with Tom Brady in the offseason, building that chemistry, building that relationship.
He's an American story.
Show up every day where he could have been like, look, I'm not a receiver. I'm just a returner. Like, why am I going to fly so-and-so? The smart approach was, this guy is the greatest of all time. It's
he
easy.
Recognized Tom.
It's easy when it comes to Brady, but he recognized that this guy's the GOAT. I'm going to hang on to him, cling on as close as I can, and keep doing that.
But even in that, when Tom left to go to Tampa, Tom's like, come on, bro. I'm there, Gronk's here. And Jules was like, nah, bro. Like, I like Jules. I always told you this. My favorite Patriot not named Tom Brady
is Edelman.
I loved his game. Loved him. I still haven't had a chance to meet him yet since I've been here. I hope to. Everyone who knows him tells me he's great. He's a great dude.
That's one of the guys that, and the relatability of his game is just the fact that, I mean, he's way undersized. He's basically my size. He's a little bigger, of course. But producing at the NFL level, that's where like the Steph Curry effect, why he's relatable. Everyone can shoot a basketball, not everyone can dunk. For Julian Edelman, everyone can run the slants, the short routes, just be a yak guy, something after the catch. That's what he was, and it was simply like never the biggest, strongest, fastest ever, never the most athletic, but was one of the best slot receivers to play the game, showed up in key moments, and was so clutch. Playing on big stages, he pulled through.
He's a little taller than you, but you're both yoked. 5'10", 198. So there you go.
198.
So
Wow.
he's
He's probably really a 5'8". If he's listed at 5'10",
Probably.
he's probably really 5'8".
Probably 5'8".
He's got me just beat.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
But you're both yoked. Don't
Yeah.
leave that part out.
Appreciate it.
Like, I'm giving you that, and you
Hey,
both got that dog in you.
After battling back from the flu last week, I got to get back on it because that was the worst part. I'm just laying there and going, everything I worked for.
We're just glad you
Everything
battled
gone.
through that, brother.
Happy to be on the other side of it.
Man.
Always happy to do Foxboro Rush with you, my man. He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Bilecki. This is Foxboro Rush. Make sure to catch new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 10 p.m. right here on Nets the Nation. Catch every episode on Netson's YouTube page as well. Subscribe. Go to the episodes or clips. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment as well. And we'll bring you guys into the conversation. For George Bilecki, Travis Thomas, this is Foxboro Rush. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone.